In the history of mankind, there has never been a time where it's been more easier to become famous than it is today. For whatever reason you want to get famous, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it.
Today is 24th June 2022. I've officially made 1 lakh rupees.
All right, Shrey, what's your question, my friend?
Or at a few days back, I had made a tweet in which I had said, you don't have to go to uni at 18, get a job at 21, buy a house at 30, get married by 35 and have kids by 36. No shame in living how you want to live. You'd only be rewarded with more eyeballs and more eardrums if you defy the norms. And this tweet is going to be the premise of what we're going to talk about today. The key is the last paragraph of this tweet, which is you'll be rewarded with more eyeballs and more eardrums if you defy the norms. Alright, so before talking about how to get famous, let's talk about why someone should want to become famous, or if you don't want to be famous right now, why should you be famous? Okay, so the advantages of being famous. Firstly, it depends on you whether you want to be famous or not in the first place. I'm going to convince you to become famous. It just has a much bigger benefit to society as a whole if you're famous. Many people are scared of fame because it, brings attention to them, and they're scared of, some kind of negativity, some kind of backlash that may happen. Some people are just, scared of flexing on the internet. They don't like the idea that someone else might feel bad because of their success. Also, people think that you lose freedom when you become famous. For example, like you may not be able to go to a store, you might not be able to go to get groceries, you might not be able to go out and have some dinner without someone approaching you asking for a picture. And from what I've heard famous people say especially is that it's not that bad. Unless you are Virat Kohli level, unless you are athlete, Bollywood actress, actor, unless you're that kind of level, you're not gonna have people come up to you every day. It's more of going to be like sometimes one person might approach you one day. Sometimes for a week no one may approach you. Sometimes in a day 3 to 7 people might approach you. And from what I've heard from other famous people say, it never takes them out of their comfort zone. It's always respectful, and people always generally approach in a respectful manner. Until you go to that level where it's Virat Kohli level, some kind of famous, ultra famous level. Unless you're at that level, you're not gonna have disrespectful people come up to you. They will respect your privacy. And getting to that Virat Kohli level is completely up to you. Like, everybody's not gonna want to be at that level. Fine. I'm just saying moderate, at least a moderate level of fame you should have. Clout, as we say. But getting to that Virat Kohli level is going to be up to you, and I'm going to convince you why, it might be a reasonable option to go for. For example, for me, for the impact that I want to have on the world, I will gladly sacrifice my ability to go to a restaurant without security. Is that convincing enough for you? Is your mission to the world greater than your comforts? That's the trade-off you have to make. Nothing comes without sacrifices. We all know that. For me, like, being famous, it just serves my purpose. I make more money, I influence more people, and I get more fulfillment out of life. And I'd gladly get all these three things and sacrifice my ability to go to a restaurant, or go, travel to a country, or go into, an economy class flight where everybody knows me. Also, there's one more factor of people not wanting to show their face online. They don't like the idea of, being on video. Completely fine. And we'll touch upon this topic later on in the video. Alright, so now let's talk about how you actually become famous. What's the one thing that can make everybody famous? Being famous means nothing other than you having unique and distinct experiences from everybody else on the planet. For example, a music artist, let's say Drake, he became famous for his distinct flows. Businessmen, why do they become famous? They had revolutionary ideas. All these TikTok creators, all these Reels creators, why are they becoming famous? Because their Reels are different from everybody else's Reels in the marketplace. What about people who don't actively create something? They just talk on camera. People like me, like, I don't create, I'm not an artist, I'm not a musician, I'm not a full-fledged businessman right now. All I have to offer is my experiences. You have done certain things in your life, you have seen certain things, you have done certain things, you have experienced certain things in your life that others in your same demographic have not till now. And you must create a collection of such experiences and stories which you can use in your favor to get fame. And chances are you already have such a collection. You don't need a crazy life to have crazy stories for people to want to listen to you online. For example, my collection is quite simple. Like, it's small, it's simple, and I'm gonna keep building it, and my story is gonna keep evolving, and people are gonna get more and more interested in my story. For example, like, I did not go to school for 2 years. 8th and 9th and 10th standard, I did not go to school. I took a gap year. Who takes a gap year? Very less people. I was working as a real estate agent when I was 17. I have 30,000 followers on Instagram. I've tried multiple businesses. I've organized multiple charity events, and the list goes on and on and on. And I'm guaranteed to become famous because of my crazy stories, because I don't stop. It is in my nature to do crazy stuff. Right? I don't like to do what all the other people do. Like, it's in my nature ki, let's say, even for small things, let's say I discover like a cool new song, and then like 4 weeks later, like it became viral, and now everybody's listening to it. I hate that song instantly. I know everybody does not have this, but it's in my nature that whatever other people are doing, I don't like to do it. Okay, so that is the main catalyst for me want to do crazy things. It's because of these different unique stories that I'll bring to audiences. Will people want to listen to me? And you cannot fake this, right? You cannot lie about your story. You cannot fake it. Eventually the truth comes out, and people in general can just tell if you're lying. And if you want people to actually trust you, you're gonna have to do something in real life, and then use those stories to build momentum on the internet. Literally 99% of the world does not make content, and they all have amazing stories that they could use to monetize. Your stories are copyrighted. Like, no one else on the planet has the same stories as you do. People say that market is saturated. Finance market is saturated. Finance market on YouTube is saturated. Self-improvement is saturated. Art is saturated. Music is saturated. People say all these things, right? Everything is saturated. No, my friend. Is Shrey Bakai saturated? If I said Shrey Bakai is people would think, no. Is you, the viewer, are you saturated for anything you want to do? No, right? Essentially, what you are building is not, a self-improvement channel or a music career. You're not building those things. You are building a personal brand. You are selling your story and yours alone. It's different from everything else out there, and people really want that. You'll see like the rise of authentic YouTubers is going up again. People who just sit and talk in front of the camera. I think podcasts are a perfect example of that. Why are podcasts suddenly becoming so much more popular? Before it was Mr. Beast videos. Like, he used to do all these crazy challenges. People used to love that. But people are kind of bored of it now. All the crazy edits, all the hyper edits. People are kind of bored of that. So they just want to sit down and watch a podcast for 3 hours. It's changing. The dynamic is changing. People want genuine people that they feel are talking to them. I think the reason you're watching till here is because you are captivated not in the information I'm giving you to an extent. If you've seen my previous videos, you're not watching for the content I'm giving. You're watching for me. All right, and that is the key that I'm trying to tell you here. So there's no such thing as saturation. All right, so where should you post? Okay, so you've decided you want to start making content. You want to become famous. Where should you start posting? In order, I'll tell you. The best place to post is YouTube videos. Second is YouTube Shorts. Third is Twitter. And the fourth option is Instagram Reels. Now I'm going to explain to you why each of them hold its place in the rank. So YouTube long form is the best way. Why? Because it builds trust like no other type of content. And also, once it gets monetized, it's an amazing way to make money. Next is YouTube Shorts, because again, once you get monetized, you can make money from these. After that is Twitter, where it's perfect for those of us that don't want to show our faces. There's loads of ways to make money from Twitter. You just have to post about your experiences. If you go through my Twitter, it's nothing special. It's things that I experience in my day-to-day life and the things that I learn in my day-to-day life. It's the combination of those two things that I'm able to build traction on Twitter. Like, a lot more of my tweets have been getting good amounts of views recently. right? Because I've taken that story angle where I talk about my stories, experiences, and people seem to love that because it proves novelty, it proves uniqueness. People don't want to see the same thing anymore. Everything known to mankind has been said already on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. But what hasn't been said is your story. Also, Reels is last, and I think it's a terrible way to monetize. That's why it's last. Like, I see so many of these Reels creators making all these shitty ass self-improvement videos. I just follow them to see, like, to just get pissed off, really. I don't follow them to like because I like I just follow them because whenever they post I get angry and I get off the platform. Because they're not monetizing, they're just getting easy views. It's a quick fix. Like, okay, you want to get famous, but you want to be able to make money from it. It has to be of some use. The hardest thing to monetize is a YouTube channel, which is why so few people do it. I'm the few people that's actually putting effort into this. I'm giving you high quality stuff. That's why it's gonna blow up and it's gonna have meaning because people enjoy it. Whereas a reel, all it is shallow content. I can literally pick up any topic. I could talk about this, whatever this is, okay? And my reel may get 30,000 views for whatever reason. There's another concept with getting famous where your vibe attracts your tribe, meaning whatever kind of content you produce is going to attract the kind of audience that watches that content. Does that make sense? So I don't want my audience to be filled of people, with low attention spans and they, like videos, which are 10 seconds to 30 seconds long. I don't want that kind of an audience. Okay. And now the conversation of face versus no face. Okay. Showing your face is always better on the internet as it builds more trust and authenticity. But there are plenty of people who, have YouTube channels, make reels without showing their faces. But if you choose to not show your face, it must be for a lifetime. Many people have, started their channels without showing their faces, and after they show their face, it ruins the brand completely because the foundation of that channel was built upon the no face channel. Okay, this guy who does not have a face. Suddenly, if you bring in the face, it's like, what the hell? Like the people who subscribed did not subscribe for your face. They don't care about your face. They don't care about your face. That's why they subscribe. So it's gonna have to be permanent if you choose to do no face. Marshmello is a perfect example. Like, I don't know if he's shown his face in the last 2 years. I haven't been following him. But I know that his whole brand is built upon that mask that he wears of the marshmallow. So if he suddenly, takes it off, like, he won't be known as Marshmello. He'd be known as a random kid. Again, I'll ask you the same question about showing your face or not showing your face. Showing your face will have a larger impact. And are you willing to sacrifice your comfort to have a bigger impact on the world? Again, any platform is fine. I just suggest you start making videos. If you don't want to show your face, Twitter is perfect. Twitter is legendary. Recently, I've been going ham on YouTube and Twitter. Instagram is, not ideal for creating content. It's more of a tool to flex. Instagram is a dating website now, man. Come on. Like, if you post like weird self-improvement content on it, it's not gonna work out. That's what I personally use Instagram for now, at least. So if you're watching till here, I personally challenge you right now to post one tweet, one YouTube video, or one reel in the next 24 hours. I want you to drop your Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you're gonna make content on in the comments. I'll personally come over and subscribe to your channel and make sure I hold you accountable. Also, I have a video where I break down how to become famous on Instagram. I have 30,000 followers on Instagram. And I teach you exactly how you can do that. So go check it out. The video is in the description. That's all. Take care.